1, 2, 3, yay! Hey there, FLOSSTUBE. It's Cathy, the hands-on designer with
Bill, Mr. HOD.
There you go. And should we have a cheers? Cheers. What you drinking?
It's a East Village IPA from Peachtree Brewing in Des Moines.
In Des Moines.
They make very good beer.
So you're drinking a beer from Des Moines, and I'm drinking a strawberry margarita that we got at Trader Joe's in Des Moines yesterday. Mm-hmm. So it's very good. I like it.
Yeah, we're home, right?
We are home, and
Okay.
it's Sunday.
Just checking.
It's Sunday, right? Sunday night. And we're actually cooking. We're both in the kitchen at the same time. I have mostly a voice back. It's still a little. Anyway, people are probably going, yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. We'll get that. We'll cover that. So it's April 2nd. Woohoo!
Mm-hmm.
So we had a pretty good April Fool's Day.
We did. It was busy.
It was another busy day. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so we'll cover all that. We just felt like we hadn't done a floss tube in a while. And a lot of our friends have kind of done their post-market wrap-ups. We did the missing Mr. HOD at the moment. They've done their post-market wrap-ups and things like that, and most of the shops have, sold out of stuff and since reordered and all that kind of good stuff. But we never really got a chance to kind of do a market wrap-up, and now I feel like that was like 6 months ago. But seriously, March was very busy, all good things.
What did you figure? How many days were you home?
I think I was home, it was like 6 or 7 days the entire month. Mm-hmm. It was a lot. I mean, not a lot.
It's fun. It's all good stuff.
But very busy. Mm-hmm. So like I said, we just thought we're cooking dinner. What's on the menu tonight?
It's a crustless quiche.
It's a crustless quiche. This is a dinner that I make a lot when we have busy nights because you can make it ahead of time. Mm-hmm. It's just like, literally just, pull out whatever's in the freezer, or the fridge, eggs, of course, and you don't need to have a crust because it's crustless, and it kind of changes every time with like what vegetables and things like that we have on hand. So what we like about it, since it's just the two of us, is it makes an entire pie pan. And so that's like 2 dinners for us. So if we know, especially like when we know we're gonna have a busy week, it's nice to have that. And tomorrow night it'll be the end of we're not gonna wanna make dinner tomorrow night. Right. So we thought this would be a good idea. And it's been a while since we've cooked on a floss tube. Mm-hmm. So you said you would do the chopping. You wanna show them what we got so far? You have to get chopping. But so for this, we've got spinach and onion, and we both like a sweet onion or a Vidalia onion. You can use whatever kind of onion. You can use red onion. You don't have to have spinach if you don't like spinach. If you like kale, you can use kale. And then because we ran out of tomatoes, and I'm like, wait, we have the little seeds. We're gonna chop those up, and then some onions, mushrooms. Sorry. And then also we're going to include some shredded cheese, some shredded cheddar cheese, some feta. And then sometimes like if I have leftover meat in the fridge from something, we actually have some, the debate before we turned on the camera was the turkey sausage or not. We're going to go sans turkey sausage. So this is just how I do it. I used to follow a recipe, kind of. Now I don't really follow a recipe. Oh, could you grab that, the whipping cream?
Yes.
I use about 6 to 7 eggs. I don't always use a whipping cream. I don't always have it on hand. I just happen to have some left, so I'll add it for a little bit of body and texture and taste. But not with this. We're probably talking like maybe like a 1/4 cup. We're just gonna. I got one of these little things, and there's like maybe 1/3 of it left in there. So you want to chop while I
have a runner.
You want to get the spinach off the floor?
We won't use that one.
So for most of March, I kind of didn't really have a voice, and you can kind of tell from my voice, it's still coming back a little bit. Anyway, beginning of March, we went to market, and I know we did a video where we showed you all the market releases, but I think we're going to go through really quick. Again, one more time. just in case you missed the last video. So the items that we took to have on display, because you know we set up a display in our room, we did take the Mad for Plaid. Now that chart released in January, but a lot of times I'll take like whatever is a January release because the shops haven't seen the actual model, and we all know there's nothing like seeing the actual model. So, you know, this was the autumn, the winter, I'm holding them wrong, spring, woohoo, I see a lot of you out there displaying your spring now, and then summer. And all 4 seasons are in the one chart. My model is done on the 32 count slate fabrics by Stephanie with Cosmo floss. If you remember, the autumn one was actually originally a complimentary design. It can still be downloaded from, I think, a link in profile on my Instagram page, and it might also be in the HOD Stitchers group, Facebook group. You can get it there. And I'm not going to take that one away because that was always available as a complimentary. It is also currently, if you sign up for my newsletter, this is the one that you get. It is I did rechart it when the whole chart came out with Cosmo, because the free version has just it's some DMC that I chose. So it's very similar look, slightly different with the Cosmo. But I did a tutorial on how I finished these, lacing this onto the covered mat board and then covering your mat board with some pretty fabric, and of course including the magnets. And we did those fun, Chantal from 141 Design Studio did that awesome shelf. I've got a couple up here to show you, a couple little sneak peeks ahead of time. You can order those from your shop. You can also order them directly from Chantal's website, and I believe she has an Etsy shop. So, but do contact your shop, because a lot of them, we did have those available at Market, and a lot of shops picked them up and then ordered them after too. So, all right, so make sure you call your shop for that. What else did I have? New releases. Okay, so Mad for Plaid. So we are going to go plaid all year, because remember that those seasons interchange with magnets. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun if we could celebrate other days and holidays?
Holidays, special occasions.
Exactly. So we had Happy Easter. So I've seen a lot of you out there stitching this one as the Easter week is now upon us. And you'll notice that I did different fabrics, because I thought, well, if you're going to use just one shelf and then switch them out, these all had similar backing fabrics, but then you kind of know that it's a special day or season because it's got different fabric. You, of course, can do whatever fabric you would like to do. But anyway, so we had Happy Easter, and that was a new one for Market. So that is in shops now, as well as 4th of July. You just love those eagles. And we're calling this, well, I'm calling it plaid all year, because you'll notice like all of the motifs are they're plaid-ish looking. Maybe a little more checkerboard, but it's plaid to me. We're going with plaid. So plaid all year sounded a lot better than checkerboard all year. So, and then of course, this is what's fun about this series now, because these are all the two that I just showed you included, and then this one, these are all individual cards. So you can kind of pick and choose. It's kind of like an a la carte menu. You can, because obviously, you know, maybe not everybody wants to do Oh Canada. Not going to sing it. I think I sang it in the last video.
What happened at Market?
Oh my gosh, the funniest story at Market. I had Jeanette Douglas was in my room. Jeanette Douglas Designs, and then Janice, who owns Traditional Stitches in Canada, were both in my room, and I was kind of doing the whole spiel to shop owners and thinking, because I was singing it earlier, but then I was starting to lose my voice, so I thought, I'm not singing it anymore. I looked at them and I went, okay, you Canada people, sing it. And they did. It was so much fun. I wish I had the forethought to pull my camera out and record them. So anyway, so thanks Janice and Jeanette for being such good sports. But Oh Canada. Okay, that's about all you're getting. And then what else we had? Oh, my book that I did with Beth Seal from Summer House Stitchworks. This kicked off a 4-part series for us called Between Friends, and this was a spring sampling. So this was the sampler that was in the book. I feel like I keep going off camera. The sampler, and this is just a standard 8x10 frame. We include all your sources for fabrics. Now I will say this fabric is a few years old, so hopefully you can either find it, or I know you'll be able to find, there's so many different lovely fabrics out there. It's like quilting cotton, so go to your local shop and bring your DMC shades and find something that's complementary. But all the sources are listed in the book, DMC threads, and on Zweigart linens, so on natural and charcoal. So that is in the book, of course, with, are you coming? Oh, we're cracking eggs.
We're getting there.
Okay. And I usually do whole eggs. When I make my eggs in the morning, like for breakfast, I'll do like one whole and then a couple egg whites. For quiche, I just find I tend to like whole eggs. That's our source of protein for the dinner. But so then this was a little pocket pillow that is in the book, as well as these 3 beast cornu. I love the graphics on these, and they all stack. They're graduated. Lots of fun. Full finishing instructions on everything. Finishing instructions on this. And then this is a needle book that's also in there. It's got my initial on the back. We included dates and initials so you can make yours, because you know your name just may not begin with C, might begin with B. Would you like your own needle book? Or are you gonna borrow mine?
Sure, I'll borrow yours.
Okay.
It's not something I use every day.
You never know. So this is the inside of the needle book. Oh, I just love what Beth did with the design in there. So we carried a lot of the patterns through, which was, that's what's so much fun about working with Beth and some of the other designers that I get to work with. We really kind of feed off each other, and it's a lot of fun, and it really is between friends. So I think that's what's kind of fun about the whole book. And we did a lot of beautiful photography, just stories, and just celebrating friendships, which I think is awesome. So we also included a little section in this book, as we will all the others, on love gifts. These are small, quick to stitch projects, sweet little wool felt scissor fob and little needle cards that do not take long. But say if you're going to a retreat or having a party or something like that with your stitching friends, and you want to give them a little something homemade, it's a very quick, loving stitch gift to give. So of course, we also, I'm trying to keep it going because I know we've talked about a lot of these and I don't want to be too boring. But my favorite series that we've kicked off so far this year is the Polar Plunge. And if you remember from the last video, there'll be 6 ornaments in this series in all. 3 came out at market. The remaining 2 will come out in the beginning of May. And then the last one, the number 6, will only be available as a PDF on my website because we're donating all the proceeds of that to Special Olympics. Because just kind of the whole play on the Polar Plunge theme, because that's a huge fundraiser for a lot of Special Olympics groups.
The Greek system at Iowa State, it's a huge fundraiser for Special Olympics in the state of Iowa. They just held their Polar Plunge this weekend, and I think the final total was a little over $250,000 raised.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that. I knew they did it, but
yeah.
I just got a little bit of chills with that. So
it's a big deal.
Which is kind of fun to see the Greek students doing that. And like, when I mean say Greek, like, it's fraternities and sororities. Both Bill and I we were each in a fraternity and sorority, and our particular, I know my sorority's philanthropy was breast cancer. Susan G. Komen. Shouldn't put you on the spot.
You're putting me on the spot. I honestly do not recall.
I know you did because we were all required to,
yeah, we
but
did.
you just,
I do not recall. That was a couple years ago.
Just a few. So, Polar Bear Peak, Wally the Walrus. And no, you're cooking. So, and well, hello there. They're the first 3. I've seen a lot of you out there stitching them. I'll give you the details. It's the Classic Colorworks. It's the floss, including the Field of Greens. green Classic Colorworks that I got to colorize and name. And then let's see what else. Oh, and this is on Polar Plunge Fabrics by Stephanie. She came up with the color. It's just for this. Lady Dot Creates did the rickrack. And then Chantal from 141 Design Studio did the boards. I apologize, I do not have the tutorial up. I was gonna get that done right after we got back from market, and then I had no voice, so I couldn't do the voiceovers. The photos are done, they're all in order. I just need to do the narration and then have them all put together. But I had no voice. And you would listen to me going, and you'd be like, what? What'd she say? Yeah, so that was no good. But lots of fun. I'll have all the information on applying the paper. The paper I got from Hobby Lobby. I just painted the back. I will include all the paint numbers. I just love what Chantal did with the boards, drilling the holes so that made it easy to include your hanger and then your bow. And then I added a little jingle bell just because I felt like it. Anyway, so was that everything from market? No, one more. All right. Oh, I had to reach over. So you want to hold one of those? Are you done shopping?
I am.
Wow. Okay, so this is the last of the triple play pillows. This is the spring basket. I have these over. This is one, like I faithfully keep these displayed in our house and just switch them out. So you actually had to go over the basket that I keep on under the TV. You had to I'm like, we're missing a model. Oh yeah, it's over there. So I just love the way these came out. DMC on flax, and they're just Simple Stitches fabric. Shop did coordinated the cottons. Probably you can still get bundles on their website. I have a tutorial on how I finished mine. This finishes up the triple play pillow series, so all 4 seasons are out now. Remember, I did the envelope style back, so you can pull the pillow form out, stuff it in the next season, and switch out your display, and ta-da, your decorating is done.
It's never that easy.
Okay, yeah, well.
I'll just point that out. Thought it.
Just don't give away the secrets. The switching of the pillows is done and easy.
That is very easy. That is a very, yes.
So, so what else have we been doing the month of March, if I've only been home? We got home from market. We did something that, now that Mr. HOD is full-time Mr. HOD, we did something that we said, like, we always wanted to do, and that was stay like a day after market, because we go to Nashville and people ask us all the time, like, oh my gosh, how was Nashville? And we're like, we don't know. It was really cool as we drove by it.
Both times.
The market itself is actually in a suburb to the south. Called Franklin. And it's a lovely little town with great restaurants and just cute little shops and antique places, and just walk around.
A lot of local vendors.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of local stuff. It's very nice.
So we stayed Monday. We went to breakfast, saw a lot of our stitching and shop owning friends off as they were catching flights or hitting the road, and then we went up to our room and actually talked for the first time in a few days. It's so funny because we're together the whole time, but we hardly, because
we're doing different things.
So we kind of caught up with what was going on, and then we took the day and we just went into Franklin and we sat out. It was gorgeous.
It was 80 degrees and sunny. It was like, holy cow.
The only problem,
the first week of March.
The only problem I had was that, I had kind of been sick, and then my sinuses just, woo.
Allergies.
And then it takes us 2 days to drive there. And you, on the second day, you said, oh, look, the trees are blooming and there's flowers. And I was like, that's why I feel this way. So I had to go get all my allergy, Zyrtec and all that kind of good stuff. And I think that's kind of when the voice really started to go.
Yep, that's exactly it.
But we had coffee just sitting outside.
That was a great time.
And
it's just very relaxing. Plus we took 2 days to get home instead of doing, because it's a 13.5-hour drive home. So we
normally
took 2
we
days.
did that in 1 day.
2 days to get back, and it was very relaxing.
The quilt. You want to go grab the quilt?
Sure.
So of course, we went to a couple antique shops, and I have a few things in my head that I really like to keep on the lookout for. And I always, my thing about buying antiques and whatnot is, you have to look at the price and you go, yes, I'd be willing to pay that. I'm not looking to resell it. I'm not looking to do anything to it. I'm looking to enjoy it. And if it's at a price that I can enjoy it, and I know I have some friends who are totally in it for the bargain hunt, and there are times when I am too. Yeah. But I found this quilt. I actually, one shop, there was a lot of quilts. I just love the color. I don't know how old it is because we did look. It's definitely machine pieced, but it is hand quilted, and it does have some wearing on the edges. And I can only probably show what I really liked. Is I loved the color. I loved this.
Here, you hold.
Okay, should we hold it up? Woo! Here we go, like that. I loved all the little the sawtooth edges.
The scalloped edging.
And then this, the scalloped edging with the binding.
Yeah.
Was just really cool. But yes, it is. It's in fairly decent shape. The binding's got a little wear on it.
Yeah, it does.
I'm not going to use it as a cutter or anything. No. I'm going to display this and enjoy it. In fact, we've been having it over. The colors go in my home beautifully. So, thank you. So yeah, so I was kind of excited to come home with a little treasure and gem from the day. And so yeah, we just really we worked hard, but really kind of enjoyed ourselves. So we came home, picked up the dog, but Lynn literally had to leave just like, I think we came home on a Wednesday and we left Friday. And that we drove to Iowa City, to Iowa State, and that was, I'm sorry. I get my state, my Iowa's mixed up. Sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody. But we went to we used to call them the Midwinter Games, but now it's the Spring Classic for Special Olympics, where they have powerlifting, basketball, dance and cheer.
Basketball skills.
And basketball skills. So, is that it?
That's it.
Yeah. And Billy's team, Billy plays on the senior men's team. And so they went and they did really well. They got a bronze medal. So
they lost their first round game by 2 points. It was great basketball. It was great to watch, and it was really cool.
Yeah. It was, it's always a lot of fun to go to those games. But so then on the way home, we always stop in Des Moines on the way home to see the Des Moines kiddos, Christopher and Taylor. And then I got to go do a little dress shopping with Taylor for a mother of the groom dress, which I'm still working on. It'll happen.
It's gonna work.
Yep. I'm saying my prayers at this point. So it's very hard to find something very specific, colors and cut and sizes in shops right now. So we've had to do a lot of ordering online, but went to some shops and did some try-ons and stuff like that. So anyway, so we came home and I was home a couple days. And then I left to go to a retreat with my local stitching group, but that's when I got really sick. And I drove with a friend, which I was so happy to do. I didn't drive; I rode with her, and I have like a group of there's about 10, 11 of us, 12 of us, stitching friends. We're all in like South Dakota, Iowa. We've known, a lot of us have known each other since our kids were 2 years old. Yeah. And we've gone through so many different life moments with each other. Yeah. And so we had rented a place.
The Quilted Steeple.
The Quilted Steeple. Do you remember what city in Iowa it is? Lone Rock?
Lone Rock.
I think, okay. The Quilted Steeple in Lone Rock, I'm going to do a shout out, Iowa. They have, there's a kind of a story behind it, but there's the parsonage, which is the retreat center. That's where we slept. And then right next to it is an old church. And the gal who owns it, that's the church that her mom and dad went to. And just through a series of, the church was actually going to go up for auction, get made into like a motorcycle garage, and she was like, oh no, and so she bought it, and there's a quilt shop in it, and so it's really cool, and it was kind of fun. I felt so bad because the first night we got there, the two gals that were, they have a bunch of gals that work the store, they were both cross stitchers, and they were like, we know you. And I felt so bad because I was definitely I could tell I was getting sick.
Yeah.
And I was probably not on my A game, shall we say. I was just like, I just want to go get to bed.
Yeah.
And by the next night, I talked to you and I was full on coughing and I was afraid I was keeping everybody up and whatnot. So you actually came and got me early so I could go home and get on some medications because there was sinus infection and all that kind of good stuff. So, and I literally had no voice. But it was fun because we were leaving to then go to Virginia to teach. So I needed a voice to be able to teach.
Wednesday.
And this is the first time, I'll show you the class. It's the first time I was teaching part of this. So I asked my friends, can I use you guys as guinea pigs?
Yeah.
So they had to bring just 2 fat quarters and I brought everything else. And I didn't even take my notes with me. I did it all from memory because like it was a little test for myself that I could teach it. And so
it turned out really well.
They did, yeah. And I think I used up the last of my voice and you had to come pick me up the next day.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, so then I was home and then we left the following Wednesday for Virginia.
Uh-huh.
Got to Virginia on Thursday night and we were in South Boston. I always want to say South Boston, but it's Virginia, so it should be South Boston.
Yeah.
Anyway, lovely. We were at the Berry Hill Resort and Conference Center, and Kathleen from Salem Stitches hosted this retreat. She does a lot of retreats. Now, her storefront shop is no longer open for a variety of reasons, but she has her online presence, and anything I talk about, I will link below. I'll put websites, all that kind of stuff. So I was actually her first cross-stitch designer to come. The place is beautiful.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
The staff is great. It's a great place.
I taught in the if you saw some of my pictures that I did on Instagram and in my stories plus posts, I taught in the old part of it, and then they had built a number of years ago a hotel out the back, and it's very quintessential historic looking Virginia.
It is.
And you're out in the country. There's really not much going on. They had a tavern, and there's like an indoor pool and spa. There were a lot of things going on that weekend.
The library bar. It's just a great place.
And so just a couple things from that. Kathleen puts on an amazing retreat.
She does.
And so she even works they have mixologists on staff. So we could go up to the library bar and they made drinks, especially for us. Needles and pins. It's got tequila, agave syrup, lemon and grapefruit juice, a Stitcher's Delight. I'm not going to give the ingredients on that one because that is a proprietary drink. They also have, but it's got cognac and champagne. All right, we'll just leave it at that. It was very good. Another one called the Half Stitch and the So Steady. They were, I tried them all. They were very good. Yeah. So, and I'm going to kind of have fun with that first one. She said I could make that one night, talk about that one in a floss tube one night. Okay. So I'm going to keep that handy. But it was so nice. She does a really nice job with her, her little just extras that you get, the love gifts and whatnot. She marks everybody. She gives you your spot at the table. So I walked in and there was my spot, but guess what? There was your spot too.
I didn't bring my stitching. I don't stitch. Sorry. Yeah.
So it was kind of fun. I love that she included you and everybody. We were
plus the attention to detail. Show the back.
Oh yeah, and there's your schedule.
Yeah.
And like everything you could do on the back, and she had like little bags at each table that had like hand sanitizer and disinfecting wipes and Kleenex and just and then a lot of other things too. But what I brought up too is she has a local artisan, because where her shop is in it's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, yes, where it was, and that's where she is. But they have it's a very big artisan community, and so every year she's had these. She calls them Salem quilt retreats, but don't be put off by that if she has a stitching designer, because we had a few quilters there, but pretty much everybody was there for the stitching. And so she had these little, what you would call it, but a little, just a little dish of some sort, and you can put your orts in it, or we might use it as put some oils in it, and you dip your bread. And she always has them engraved on the back. This one says Salem Quilt Retreats 2023. And apparently she's done this for every retreat that she's had. So some who have come to a lot of retreats really have quite a collection of these. And so we each got one. So I made sure I brought those home. But she just really does a nice retreat. And like I said, I was the first cross-stitch designer that she's had. I know she would like to do more. She puts out a lovely little shop there. You could purchase fabrics and all kinds of stuff. And then she did a trunk show of mine. And then she also had, because she came to market, so she had a lot of the new market releases as well. She ordered all the linen in. She had excuse me, she had all of Stephanie's linen. She had the Lady Dot trims.
She had boards and shelves from
Chantel. Yep. So, and she probably had some left over. So she said she would get them on the website. Again, I will link below. But it was a lovely retreat, and I had a great time. And the ladies there, we had a really good time hanging out with them. A lot of them were Virginia Tech fans. So we were kind of, we've often said Bill and I are both Hokies. We're both graduates of Virginia Tech. And of course, at that point, the Lady Hokies were still in the race for the national championship.
Yep, they were doing really well.
And so it was kind of fun to have, just talk about, because we used to live there in West Virginia. So it was a little like going home.
Yeah.
And the ladies were just so much fun. Just so welcoming to both of us, and one night they played these crazy games. What was the name of that game? Wait a minute, is it on the card?
It has to be on the back of the card.
Trader's Dice.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what that is? I had never heard of it, but it's kind of almost like one of those games like where you steal. The whole object is you steal stuff from other people, and the game is over when there's nothing left in the center of the table. And then this poor little gal kept, I don't know what her story is, but somehow the ladies
decided it should go to me and come home with us. So it's like, they wrote on the dashboard all the way home, I think.
So I'm not saying their names.
It's an interesting little creation.
We said that we would just it would make a guest appearance every once in a while in a post or a floss tube, and they would know. There you go. The funny things that happen at Stitch Retreat. What happens at Stitch Retreat
doesn't necessarily
stay at Stitch Retreat. Anyway, so this was the project that we did. The project itself was called Celebrate Spring, and I'll take it apart because we started the day. They had pre-stitching. We started the day by making this fun box, and then they came with this fully stitched, and they learned lacing. They learned a little bit of cartonnage, or my version of cartonnage, which is the art of box making, and then we laced. And so I like to throw a lot of techniques at you in a class. And then day 2, of course, if we've got that tray or that foundation piece, we got to fill it with some good stuff. So we made this little pinwheel. All right, we had a little bonus item on the back. I'm not going to talk about too much because mostly this is a teaching piece. So, and then we also made, this is out of fabric. Since I knew we might have some quilters, we definitely had some we're just here for the stitching. Yeah. And we had people come from Arizona, Ohio. Hey, Kim. Hey, Pittsburgh. So it was a lot of fun. I got to see some familiar faces. So that always makes me happy when you come back to class for more torture. And we made, so this was actually not stitched, but it was out of fabric. So I did this in case we had some, quilters come to the class, which we did. And they all said they used to stitch. And a lot of them brought things to show me, had questions, how should I finish this kind of thing.
That was cool. Yeah, they had some finished items, some questions on finishing.
Yeah, I just sat down one night after dinner, and they just kind of I felt like the doctor is in. Yeah. But of course we did our fun with my fun with magnets. And then of course they got a little bonus piece too as class. They didn't know about this, but just to make a fun little needle book. Always fun to do all the extras and the bennies when you come to class. So as always, this particular piece, I probably will teach it at least 1 or 2 more times. I know I always get, gosh, we can't make the class, you know, were you gonna release? Yes, you know, I always eventually do release, I would say most of my teaching pieces. Teaching pieces are, because we're there to learn certain techniques, teaching pieces don't always translate well to just a general release, because they have to have a tutorial that goes with it, that kind of thing. So we have to kind of make some changes to it. But yes, it will in some way, shape, or form.
And they're pretty intensive, because it takes a long time to develop a teaching piece.
Yes.
From the finish to the instructions
and
to
kit them. I mean,
construction.
all the, we come with big boxes full of kits, because I come loaded down with all the finishing kits.
Yep.
So do you want to start maybe putting a little bit of this together?
Yes, I think we should. Does this go in here?
Yes, please mix. Why don't you just dump the rest of it in? So you've got what, 6 eggs in there?
7.
7 eggs.
I went with
Ooh,
7.
okay. Okay. All right. Lucky number 7. Okay. So
This guy doesn't want to open.
you know, I had a problem with that. Just kind of rip it open. So so super easy. And you know, if you've got a great, I'm not saying I'm a quiche expert, I'm saying this is what we do. So if you've got a better way to do something, then you do that, or a way you like it better. I just got something on my hands. I need to, sorry, we're like scrunched in here on the counter. But anyway, there's no scientific, I just literally start putting, we're doing it this way, putting some of the mushrooms in. I just like put everything in by layers. What kind of mushrooms are they? The baby bellas?
Yes.
I like those. Okay. See? Mushrooms. Then we're gonna do, got some diced onions. And I did wash my hands, so. All right, we got tomatoes in there too. You wanna grab that scraper thingy? Getting down to that side. Yep. I love my little scraper thingy. I picked that up.
Just
Throwing onions on me.
Flinging stuff everywhere.
I got that little Pampered Chef Sherry from the Stitchery Nook she is one of the partners at the Stitchery Nook, and she's also a Pampered Chef rep. So it was fun when I went over there to teach last time. She had all the books there, so I had to order some Pampered. I like Pampered Chef. Yep, and then we're gonna put I do like it when the spinach gets a little chopped. And I'm not like measuring anything. You can kind of just see, I'm sort of covering the bottom. And then you want to put a little bit of, just drizzle some feta in. Now, when I did in the beginning and I started to make this, it said like 2 cups of cheese. That was like super cheesy.
It was.
And so I don't put that much in anymore. Just a little bit. You want to, yeah, all right.
Good.
That's good. So you can kind of see, I do a lot of layers, but light layers. And then a little feta. I feel like we need to change the whole setup here, babe, for cooking. Sorry. Okay. And I do not put as much. I probably maybe like a cup. And the egg I put over last. And honestly, that is probably not, maybe it's a cup. I don't know. But you opened that and there's how many cups in that bag?
2 cups.
2 cups, and I maybe used what?
Half to 3/4.
Yeah. So like that's what it kind of looks like. So, and I will list on before egg, yes. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here so you can pour it carefully. And then you've put the 6 or 7 eggs, beat them, and then you did add just go all the way around. Yep.
Creamer.
You added the heavy whipping cream. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you do not need that. It'll make it a little fluffier, have a little different taste. I did not add, I put a little pepper on top. You can.
That good?
If you like salt, or we don't really usually cook with salt because, thanks family blood pressure issues. But I do a lot of pepper. If you wanted garlic powder or onion powder, you could definitely do that.
Yeah.
You want to get that open. This is kind of what we're looking like. So it's pretty full. It's at 350. And can you kind of see how full it is? Here, I'm going to hand that off to you. You don't want it, because it does raise a little bit, like bubble up a little bit. So you don't want it too full. I probably could have added another egg, but 7 eggs is good with the whipping cream. So if I didn't have the whipping cream, I might consider another egg. But
What kind of time? 20 minutes?
let's start with, actually it kind of usually goes between like 30 and 40 minutes. It's
Let's start at 30.
30, okay. What you want to do at 350, start with 30 minutes. If your oven runs really hot, maybe go 20, 25 minutes.
Sure.
You just want to, like when you look at it, if you just want the middle to not be jiggling.
Yeah.
Just that's pretty much my key, is to know
it's-
when it's cooked through.
It's really good.
It's very good. It's like I said, it doesn't, you think quiche, oh my gosh, that's got to be very difficult. No, it's really not.
It takes no time to put together.
And because we definitely for years and years were those people that like, okay, we're busy doing an automatic shipment at night. Let's just order. Well, when we lived in town, you could order pizza. They do not deliver pizza out where we are now. So we would have them in the freezer, and it's like, no, I can't, and it was always late. But this way now we have 2 meals, and I like doing that. So quiche, Crustless Quiche, that's what's for dinner. Talk about some more stitching. Okay, so I wanted to show, we have another release that will be coming out in early May. So it'll be the next 2 of the Polar Plunge. And I think we did say what the next ones were, didn't we? In the last video, so.
I don't recall. We may have said what was on them, I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't show them, so I'm not gonna show you again either, but penguins and puffins.
Puffins.
So yay, I'm excited for those. Then the next 2 of the plaid all year, and I did bring up their nice little, so happy birthday. I thought this would be a fun one, like if you've got kiddos or grandkiddos, or I don't know, I'll probably put it out for you.
Sure. Christopher's birthday's on Tuesday. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a second. But so happy birthday. And you just didn't follow my drink, did it? Nope. So just have fun with what you're filling it, because you'll see on my Instagram posts and my Facebook posts like what I'm putting in. I'm trying not to have to go out and like buy a whole bunch of stuff. This is not meant to cost a lot to do. So I had some of this like packaging. I am moving my drink because that keeps falling out. This is like for packaging, and I just had a little bit left over and I put it in the bottom. And then this is a cupcake liner. And then for me, it was more about the colors. I wanted to pull the colors down. And these are little wool felt balls I had in my stash. And Benzie Designs, that's where I get those. And then just a little candle. And why not? It looks so special for a birthday. And that way, if somebody in your house has a birthday, and that's the shelf, the on the edge display shelf that Chantal designed. And you can get those from your local shop. Like I said, a lot of shops ordered from, we had them in our room. And so just to make it convenient for shop owners, and they bought them there. We sold out of those. And then they're ordering more from Chantal. And then the other one, like I said, some will be holidays, some will be a day, or some will be just because we'd like a day at the beach. How about that? We got turtles, we got sandcastles, we got umbrellas and waves. And I've had this beach glass forever. And then, ooh, bless you.
Excuse me.
Sorry. And then just some fun little sand dollars, or you can put seashells in there. And of course, who doesn't gotta have a little umbrella handy. So just have fun with it. And really, in the HOD Stitchers group, somebody did the Hoppy Easter, and then she filled this with candy, like little chocolates. Like that's
a great idea.
Genius! Like, why didn't I think of that? I just love it. So those 2 will be coming out in early May, and then as well as the next 2 in the Polar Plunge, and then I have one more small one. It'll be a Christmas design. Should I say what it is?
It's top secret.
Oh, okay. Nope. He says I can't say what it is. You'll be seeing it real soon.
Yeah.
You're gonna like it. Anyway, it's a small stitch.
Yeah.
So, because I know people are already starting to stitch Christmas. Well, a lot of you stitch Christmas year round.
Yeah.
And I had said at the beginning of the year, because we had so many releases towards the end of last year that were Christmas, because of the Jingle Ball, that I would be releasing them throughout the year. So that's kind of a clue for you as to what it might be. Anyway, anything else to show? Oh, the next gather round.
Yep.
I'm not showing it all here, but we'll show a peek. And I did send an email out. Our original plan, like all original plans, sometimes doesn't happen.
Well, this one didn't.
Yeah. Our original plan is that the kit number 2 in the Gather Round Club would be shipping like
this week.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
They were going to be putting everything together this weekend. But we had quite a bit of our DMC floss was on back order. In fact, 2 colors we didn't even have.
Right.
Now, with some of the colors, you'll be using them, they're left over from your first kit, and then I've added some colors. Now, there are a couple of colors you're going to use in all 4 kits. Now, by the end of the second one, you'll be running really, really low on a couple of those colors. So don't worry, if I use them again, you'll get another one in kit number 3. So kit number 1 was Gather Wildflowers, and I'll give you a little, they got an email. The floss is on its way to the distributor, and then they should be shipping it out. And so Judy and Tracy, who are just doing such a great job of packing all the kits, will be getting it all together. And your kits should probably go out about the 17th, I think we figured out, is what our plan was. I will send you another email. You should have gotten one email late last week. And then I'm going to send another email out just before they go, and you got to peek. But this one is Gather Butterflies. I just love my little paperweight butterflies. And you'll get the whole story behind this design. This is the one, there's 3 on these discs, and we're switching them out. It's the Lady Doc Rick Rack. It's all the fun. I'm still getting asked, can we get in the club? The club has the club is closed for people to get into it. However, I will be releasing the charts at some point after everything is out. So it's been a lot of fun. You can see a lot of people posting in the Hands-On Design Stitchers group. Anything else? What else? I have a list.
What's your list?
Okay. All right. What do we got? Okay. So what happened in March? That's what I wrote. I literally wrote, what happened in March?
A lot.
So
that's what we were
market, and then we went to Special Olympics games, and then I went to the retreat, but that's when I got sick and had no voice. We were joking that Bill was going to have to teach the class, but fortunately, it was a very quiet ride from Iowa to Virginia. Yeah. I would try and talk, and he's like, don't talk.
Yeah. I don't want to teach. It's not a good idea.
So by the time I got there, I had enough voice that I was able to teach for the 2 days. And the students were wonderful, and that was a great time. So then we got back on just this last Tuesday? Yeah. Tuesday? Yep. Yeah.
And then we went to Des Moines yesterday.
And then we went to Des Moines
Des Moines and back.
Yeah. Because we had a bridal shower, so yay! It was a lot of fun. Taylor, she just looked beautiful, and they got a lot of lovely things. So the wedding is coming up the middle of May. So we are home actually for a while now until the wedding, and we're also, you'll see some I'm doing stories on Instagram. In the story section, we're kind of redoing some of the studio area. Yep. We are taking over the whole lower level. Just to make room. We need the room. We were all sitting on top of each other. So we've been kind of working on that. We're kind of, shutting down a little bit this week. So if you don't see me posting a lot, or I'm not as quick to answer emails.
We're going to be focusing on the remodel.
Focusing on that. I'm having teeny tiny little surgery on my eyes tomorrow. It's all good. Everything's good. It'll be fine. But we just thought that was a good week to kind of just be quiet. And give me a chance to heal, and I can direct you to where to move the new furniture.
Well, the fun part was moving the old furniture out of there into the garage up here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we moved out a couch, a chair and a half with a love seat, a chair that has a metal bottom because it rocks, a couple coffee tables. Yeah, we're definitely at that stage where like if we aren't using it, it's out of here.
The biggest thing that I'm thankful for, Lorna, who works with us, her son Andy came over and helped me move the furniture because that was quite a deal.
Yeah, it was.
But it's still there, so it's ready to go.
So I'm excited. We've got some crafting tables coming and some work area, and we'll have like a kind of a permanent area for me to do FLOSSTUBE tutorials, and so I'm super excited about it.
It's gonna work out pretty cool.
But I did have on here, okay, I do have 3 more classes for the rest of the year. Yeah. We don't have as crazy like months, you know, like March was just, that was just crazy. And we always say it was crazy, yes, but we're thankful.
It was really good.
You know, because we get to go to market and we get to go to teach places and just be welcomed by Stitchers and
great people.
Meet some really neat people. And it means the world to me when I look, like I had no idea who was in this class that I taught in Virginia. And when I walked in and to see gals that had been to my other classes, that is like the most cool thing ever. So I love that. Yeah. And a few of them have already signed up for some event, because they're like, where are you going to be next? So I was telling them, and I will link below, but just to let you know, I have 3 more classes lined up at physical locations for the rest of the year. In July, it'll be July 22nd and 23rd, is a stitching shop in Denver, the Denver area. It will be a different project. I am going to tell you, we are making a similar box, but everything else is different. So, and that one is called a folk art fall. And so I'm excited to work with Christine, who owns the shop. I've heard lovely things about the shop. She has an amazing inventory. And so even if you can't come for class, sign up on her website. I will link below. It's 2 days. There will be pre-stitching for this one. And again, the way my classes operate, we go through a lot of finishing techniques, and if you bring your pre-stitching done, you will most likely leave with a completed piece. So that's always really fun. Okay, then we're home until September, and that is going to be 141 Design Studio, Chantal's place up in Williamston, Michigan, and that is September 8th through the 10th is the retreat. We don't have all the details worked out on that one yet as far as like what I will be teaching. She's been busy and I've been busy, and we just kind of said, catch ya in April. Yeah. Yep. So she and I are going to be having a really big discussions. I've already kind of got some things in my head. When you have 4 days in the car, we talked a lot. When he would let me talk. Yeah. Actually, on the way home, I was able to do a lot of talking. I'm gonna
pull this down.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're starting. The sun is coming down, so but thank you, and then we won't be so blinded. Oh, perfect! Yay. So I have some good ideas of what I want to do there, and of course, we're going to talk about we'll be doing finishing techniques. So I'm excited about that one. And and as far as I know, with any of these, there is room. Right. So and then the final one for the year is in late October 27th to 28th. Dying to Stitch. I am so happy that this retreat is finally happening. I think this they asked me to come. It was like 3 years ago. It was like right around COVID. Yeah. And then it got canceled, and then it got delayed, and because I think in the 21 they said we're going to give it 1 more year, and then I thought I was supposed to come in 22, but then we had to switch myself and Brenda. So yay! This truly is the last one I'm making up.
It's in Virginia Beach.
And that's in Virginia Beach. And they had a lot of signups, but last I talked to Anne, she said they still do have a few spots open, and they'd like to have a waiting list because in case somebody has to drop out. So there will not be any pre-stitching at that one. I know they have their way they like to do things, and I'm just fitting right in with what they want. Yeah. So the piece is it's going to be cool. It's going to be something a little different for me, I think. I don't know. So, and they're going to have a fun speaker there too on the one day. And I can't say anything about that just yet, but yeah, you're probably not going to want to miss her. So anyway, I will link below, and I'm so excited. I'm glad we have a little bit of time at home now. When we go do retreats, it's a lot of work.
But it's a lot of fun and very rewarding.
It's a lot of fun. Yes, I really enjoy. And honestly, I'm just gonna say this. We figured out you've been here 2 months now.
2 months.
2 months full time. I've loved it. It's been great. I'm not sure if mentally, emotionally, I would have been ready for market if you hadn't been here. It would have been tough, and I love traveling to these with you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
I don't, I used to not mind, traveling by myself to some of these, but I love that I can do it with you. So
it's good. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Anyway.
Now, were you going to say something about Christopher's birthday or something?
Oh, yeah. So our youngest turns 28. Oh gosh, that makes me feel, well, okay.
Wait till Billy turns 30 next year.
I know. So yeah, Christopher turns 28 on the 4th, 4/4. So that's Tuesday. And I never want to take away that it's his birthday, but that was also kind of a significant day for me and us because 4/4 in, let's see, not 90, when he turned 3. So that would have been, he was 4/4/95. Okay, so 6, 7, 8. Yes, 4/4/98 was actually the day that I opened up Hands-On Needle Shop. So it'll be 25 years that we've been hands-on something, whether it was hands-on needle shop or hands-on finishing or hands-on design. Yeah. So it's kind of fun to say. I've often been, because you have always like done accounting work or finance work, and I was like, yeah, I have one of those careers that's like really hard to describe because whatever. But to think that I've been doing this for like 25 years, that's pretty cool.
It is.
We're still hanging in there. I can't wait to see what the next 25 mean. So
there you go.
Anyway, so sorry if we repeated some of the stitching or maybe did a little bit more talking. The quiche is smelling good. So hopefully we're going to come back with a few more of these because I actually, it was funny. We do get a lot of emails saying, I like to watch this with my husband and we miss when you don't cook. So we wanted to make sure we brought some cooking back. Yeah. So the quiche is good. I will put some kind of firmer, directions below, but it's so easy. Yeah. If I do it, it's easy. I don't follow a recipe. Anyway, so we will definitely do another floss tube here soon.
Yep.
And thanks for spending some time with us. And in the meantime, enjoy the stitch.